Discover Music NI.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second episode of the Discover Music NI podcast. Thanks very much for tuning in if you listened to our first episode. My name is Corky. With me is my host, Kendo. Kendo, say hello to the fine people.
Hello, people. How you doing?
That's an excellent hello, people. Well played. I like it.
And that may not be the last time I do that.
That's cool. That's okay. So yes, we've a great episode lined up this evening. Kendo, do you want to tell us a wee bit about what we've got coming up?
Yeah, on this episode, we are going to have some music from Gnarkats. We're going to have some music from Aeons and Lonely Astronauts. We have a special guest tonight of Louis McTeggart, singer-songwriter from Enniskillen originally. So we're looking forward to hearing from him a bit later on. Corky, you're going to get us started with a track or two here.
So coming up, we have Moon Landing. Before that, we have Gnarkats, and this is called Dreamers.
Choices I made.
So that was a song by Moon Landing, The Room is Spinning, and before that we had Gnarkats and Dreamers off an EP that they released at the back end of last year. A couple of cracking tunes there.
Yeah, great songs. So they're a good way to start the show.
Right, I think he's getting warmed up in the green room there, getting some liquid refreshments in. Please welcome our guest this evening. We have Louis McTeggart.
Good evening, Lewis. How are you?
Hi, how are you? I'm all right. How are you?
Good, good. Not too bad. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you. Thanks
How you doing?
How you doing, Kendall? Are you all right?
I'm not so bad. Good to have you.
Oh, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Good stuff. So do you want to just very quickly tell us a wee bit about yourself, Lewis?
Well, I'm a singer, songwriter, musician. I've been kind of writing songs for about 20 years, and the past 6 years I've been a working musician as far as in doing covers and stuff like that and been traveling around the world before the pandemic hit, of course. I did a lot of cruise ships and stuff like that and worked in resorts and played in a lot of Irish bars around Denmark and Belgium as well. So I'm well traveled. I actually do quite a bit of work in care homes as well, and for a few different charities as well. And I've been doing that. But lately, since the pandemic, I've just been doing online gigs and a wee bit of re-education, some courses, some online courses and stuff like that. You know, but
you weren't playing on O'Reilly's in Belgium, were you? In Brussels? No, that was the famous Irish bar.
No, it was the Irish Times. It was called. It was I didn't even go to Brussels. We were in Antwerp. I was in Brussels once during the day. We were in Antwerp and two other places, like two villages that were just not really nice, like, you know.
Right.
Antwerp was beautiful. Like we were in Brussels for a day once, me and another lad, and then we had to head on to our gigs, like, but Brussels was class, you know, really nicely.
So yes, Lewis, we're going to play your first song then. Do you want to introduce it for us?
It's called Angel of Mercy. I released it last year on Spotify and all that, and I wrote it. I'll tell you what I wrote. It was on a cruise ship I was working. I don't know, what did I write about? I met a girl on the ship, and it was one of those things where cross wires. She came back to my room, but I didn't know what was happening. Made me think about, do sometimes people get with each other just because they're lonely? And I think that's the way I was thinking. Because it was in the middle of a 5.5 month contract, and it was actually quite a lonely ship. It wasn't the friendliest ship I've ever been on, and I think that's what it was all about. You know, it's just like, and it's kind of like that first line. You look for something that isn't there. You know, it's like,
because it was because of circumstance more than anything else.
That's it. Yeah, it was like, I think she was feeling that way too, but it was kind of weird, and then it was kind of awkward for the rest of the contract.
Brilliant.
But you got a funny story out of it.
I did. I recorded in Peter Doherty studio in Strabane, as you know him well, and he's a brilliant producer, like, and he just made it come to life, like, and put pianos on it. And
very good. No worries. Well, that's grand. We'll play us now. This is Angel of Mercy.
You look for something that's not there, a love mundane that you could share. A twinkle in your eyes she'll recognize and hold on to for life. You hold it close as it turns light and pray to God it's real this time. You've been alone so long that you forgot how good it felt to cry. Angel of mercy, won't you shine your light on me? won't you shine your light on me? Angel of mercy, won't you shine your light on me? Light on me. Light on Angel of mercy, won't you shine your light on me?
Great song there. Great
Oh,
song indeed.
It
Thank you very
is.
much.
It's incredible. That's 3.5 minutes of goosebumps.
Oh, thank you.
It's just
Yeah.
your voice is incredible. Like
Oh, thank you.
listen to that all day. So
Yeah.
good.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, it's good stuff. I really like that story as you were mentioning earlier of what it was about as well too. You know, I mean that's how all the great love songs start from. There's a story and you don't know what's what, but
Ah, yeah,
it's fantastic.
It's kind of like
Yeah.
makes you feel something and then you write it. You know what I mean? It just kind of comes out.
Yeah.
One of those songs that came out quite quick, but it just, you know, was done.
Yeah.
You know, didn't have to think too. Then you don't think too much about it. But the whole
And
idea, you've got the idea there, you know, and then
Yeah.
you just get the words together a wee bit.
Yeah, and that's they say like the best songs take the least time.
Aye.
They do. So they do.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So no, good stuff. We do have a few other questions for you as well, just about your gigs and things like that. And we'll chat a wee bit about work on cruise ships and that too. Just before that, just in terms of influences, who would be your biggest influences musically?
Yeah, I'd say they'd go quite a bit back now, but like probably Jeff Buckley was one of the biggest ones. The first influence ever actually was Oasis and Noel Gallagher. And it's like, I know he doesn't get much.
Correct.
You're talking to two huge Oasis fans. So you are.
I kind of like the fact that there's kind of, I don't know if you've noticed, like, but it's not as uncool to talk about them anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
It used to be, do you know what I mean? It used to be kind of
Exactly.
like, oh, you had to hide it. But I love them. I still listen to some of his B-sides, and I'm like, how the heck did he write that? Like, you know, and I heard, I know it's not a B-side, but little by little,
Oh yeah.
you know, I forgot about it because I learned it on one of the ships there, and I went, Jesus Christ, this song's amazing. You forget
It's almost anthemic, that song.
in almost what?
I like anthemic, like it's almost like an anthem. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's a bigger song than you actually remember.
I thought you said big mad word I've never heard there before, and I was like, what?
I also might have made that word up. I don't know.
I thought you said in Flemish. Oh, wow.
Little by Little is one of those songs that, because after that album and everything come out, I'd seen Oasis quite a few times. Oasis are the band I've seen the most, and every time at the gig they'll always play it because however many people's in the crowd, everybody's going, just dumb, you know, everybody's into it, you know, and
But
it's one of those songs.
Aye, but I bet it's like one of those you didn't expect to like it as much, maybe. Do you know, you're like, oh, I forgot that I love this song. Like it's like,
I've actually liked it more in recent times than at the time, if that makes sense.
I have a lot of influences actually, just of different songwriters, but Oasis and just the way he would structure a song,
Yeah.
you know, it's very simple, but actually sometimes you put in a little middle eight in them at the end, and you're like, whoa, Jesus, you know.
Yes.
It's great, especially the early stuff. Great use of chords, you know.
Yeah.
Like, instead of just the sixth, you know, the usual minor, he uses the second and the third minor, you know, in the whole chord scale, and then not changing key, but like dropping chords in from other keys now and then. And he's brilliant. Him and say Jeff Buckley on me singing, I used to use the falsetto more, but I think we two, then Radiohead too, probably, you know, still stick. I'll be honest, there's not many musicians that stand have really grabbed me, you know, in all honesty.
I was going to guess at a couple of influences. Jeff Buckley would have been one of them. I would think maybe Leonard Cohen.
Lately, I definitely, I see he's somebody I got into later, like just through his, I was watching, he did the live album from Wembley, you know, just when he started touring again at the end there.
Yeah.
And it's
remember that.
It's amazing. Like it was released in DVD and on album. Oh Jesus Christ! I think there's one from Dublin too. And like, I remember hearing his old album. You know, it's all acoustic and kind of, which is brilliant. But this show is like, Jesus, this could go in Vegas. This is amazing. I don't mean in a cheesy way. I mean, this is like he put on the show. Oh, brilliant! He's backing dancers and backing singers and full band, a violin soloist. Like, oh, bloody hell! And he started with an acoustic. You know, in his career, but he would be an influence, kind of the darkness and the simplicity of some of his songs. But he's a great storyteller, amazing storyteller.
Yeah, well, that's like lyrically, he's very poetic as well.
Yeah.
So he is, and it is, as you say, he's a great storyteller as well. And I suppose too, it kind of comes from sort of the Bob Dylan generation. You know, a lot of great storyteller, very poetic as well. A lot of those guys were. That's just the way their craft was.
Yeah, it was kind of like that art scene in New York, wasn't it?
Aye, the Village, was it? Is that what you call it?
Yeah, the Village.
Village.
Yeah, the Village. Was it the Chelsea area or something they called it? Was it the Village? But it was poets and storytellers and folk singers and that sort of mixture.
Something else we've been asking people is about either gigs you've been to or gigs that you've done yourself. Any that have been particularly good or particularly bad for any reason?
I haven't went to many live gigs, you know. Something I never did. I used to party too much when I was younger, in my 20s. Like, and I lived in England for a long time. And I never had 2 pennies to put together. And by the time I got earning money, there wasn't anyone I wanted to see. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The Oasis were gone, and Radiohead had kind of stopped touring, and you know. But so what live gigs? I actually seen U2 with my father years ago. That was pretty good at Pop Mart tour.
Oh, very good.
In Wembley.
That was the one they threw an absolute ton of money at.
Yes. They lost money on that. Pardon? They lost money on that tour or something. I know.
Yeah, because that wasn't that the one with a giant lemon and all in it.
And the giant half McDonald's thing. Yeah. And at the biggest screen in the world at the time.
That would have been mid-90s, was it? Mid-90s?
Would have been
97. Right. Actually, forgot to say U2 is quite a big influence at the start. I used to love them. I'll tell you one of the contracts I did on a ship, my last contract, because I actually quit the ships and moved back to Derry. And this was kind of the one that did it for me. It was
the straw that broke the camel's back.
Exactly, that was the one. It was it was unbelievable. It was like I shouldn't say the name. It's for, and it's like an American cruise line. And it's kind of low budget. It's like one of the Eastern Europeans who worked there told me it's like McDonald's at sea, you know.
Right. Okay.
He says that's the kind of people you get. And if you go to McDonald's in America, you're like, fucking hell. It's rough, like, but for some reason they had loads of entertainment on, and you had to do 4 sets a day, 3 to 4 sets a day, 45 minutes, sometimes an hour. And most cruise ships, they'll put you on an hour here, then go away and take a 2-hour break, then come back, we'll put you on here for another hour and utilize you, you know, when there's gaps in the entertainment. But this one, they just went, there's too much on. You're starting at 12, finish at 4, and you did that 3 times a week, and then you might do 1 late shift. And then, but usually you were starting at 12 or 1 o'clock. And I was playing like sometimes when there was no passengers on the ship. So literally playing to nobody.
Yeah.
You had to play to nobody, but you have to play. They said, no, you're down in the booth. You have to play. Yeah. So
it's like elevator music nearly.
I always just play whatever. Like I was playing my own stuff and just whatever. But the worst one was, I think I was going to decide that it was, I actually had a contract booked with them to come back. And I just went the next day and I cancelled it. I was like, no, I'm not doing it. And then it's just so bad. I think the money was amazing. That was the only thing. The money was brilliant, but it wasn't worth it. I had to play. It was like 1:30 to 3:30. It was usually nobody there. Then I went up and the bar was packed. There's another thing. You sang in the casino bar where you can hear all the machines go off.
Right.
Also, people smoke. This is how rough the ship is. People can smoke inside certain areas of the
Right.
ship, which is unheard of on any ship I've ever been on, even the ferries.
Right.
Yeah, I swear to God,
Yeah.
people smoke. But they're watching the football game, but there's no volume on.
Right.
And I have to sing. And it's like, next thing, they're all just sitting watching it really quietly. And if somebody scores, they just go, "Whoa!"
Yes.
And sometimes I think they're clapping for me, but they're not. They're just there. It's just, oh, God.
That sounds like a proper nightmare of a gig to be doing.
Come on, it really was. And the worst thing was, you could see people like turning around going and laughing at you,
Right.
from the bar, like the state of him and all that. Like, the Americans, are nice
Moralism.
people, but they can be very blunt, like the Australians, like too.
Yeah.
But like, and it was, I remember the one of the managers came over. I was shaking my head, going, "Oh my God!" Like, it was so sad. It was just like, and I just went. That's what put me off cruise ships. But another cruise ship's been great. But that was the one that was like, that was probably the worst gig I've ever done. It was just, and you go, "What am I doing here? Why are you paying me this?" And it was really good money to do this, and they don't care. Just as long as you've done what you're meant to do, as long as you've done. Oh no, you did your job. You did it. I says, but nobody was bloody listening. That doesn't matter.
I suppose, as you say too, there's times where you were playing to nobody because of the time of day, and there's literally nobody there, and you can't just stop and go and get a beer and take 5-10 minutes. You have to keep going.
Yeah, a beer off bloody hell. They would kill you if you did that. Hey, you weren't allowed to drink before 6, and I was never finished before 6. And I remember if we had a good day or passenger come up, "Do you want a beer?" And I says, "I'm not allowed to."
Oh dear.
So, conducive for a good working environment, obviously.
It was, I tell you, it was the worst working environment ever. It was like, there was the threat of getting sacked all the time. And somebody did get sacked like a week before I left. Like,
right.
And it was a really good, actually good friend of mine on board. It was like out of nowhere. And then they tap your door at 6 a.m. and say, when you go, like, you always have a home port once a week.
Right.
So it's a case of, you might know, they say you might be getting sacked. Okay. Right. So just prepare for the next home port. But it's just that company, like other companies are absolutely brilliant, like to work for, like, and
very good.
They're very corporate. You know what I mean? It's very corporate driven and all this stuff.
So Lewis, you've brought another song with you. If you want to introduce us to the song and tell us a little bit about it.
Well, this song's called "I Used to Dance," and I wrote this about Martina Gonzalez. It's the lady. Unfortunately, she's passed away now. You might have remembered from the video last year of the elderly lady dancing. It was in Spain, dancing along the Swan Lake, and she used to be a ballerina and stuff. And it was like they just paid her the music, and she started dancing and stuff. And I was like, and I seen the video one night. It was last year now. Just one night in the middle of all this lockdown, as you know, Jesus, being tough for everyone. But I was just like quite late. I was about to go to bed and then watch the video, and then I just started crying. You know what I mean? Yeah. Probably emotional times and stuff. And literally just lifted the guitar and just wrote the song. First words were "I used to dance," and it just wrote itself. I'd say in about 10 minutes. I'd say wrote the genesis of the song, fixed up a few words, and then just did this wee video you're about to see. Since then, it's got a really good Facebook and everything.
Yeah, it's had a brilliant response so far, and the version we're going to play is just the acoustic version.
Just the acoustic version, that's right.
Because there is another version. If you want to tell us about that, we can save it for after.
There's a fella I work with on I used to do a lot of ferry work as well. There's a fella I worked with on the ferries. He was in the duo, became friendly with him. He's sitting at it was last week. He sent me a message like 2 a.m, again, about to go to bed. He says, "I've been working on this." And he did this piano orchestration version over it. And I was like, Jesus, it was beautiful. And then he said about the video. And I'm recording the song now with Peter again, Peter Doherty. And I had thoughts about a video to do with Gav Kelly. who I've been in touch with as well, was just me playing with the pictures of her. And he says, I thought he was telling me this is what you should do. And I was like, yeah, I'm doing that. He goes, okay, I'll get on it. I went, what? And he did it. He did the video. He made a video with old clips of her and stuff like that. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And it's amazing. That's got a really good response. That's up on YouTube now as well. It's a I used to dance video done by Alex Citrullo. He's Portuguese man living in England. Forget pronounce his name properly. Alex Citrullo, yeah. So thanks to Alex. And that's it really. It's been getting a good wee response. Hopefully it's going to be used in a few. I've been in touch with a few Alzheimer's and dementia organizations. They want to put it on their social media and stuff like that.
Oh, excellent.
And you don't have it spread about a bit.
Yeah,
or the message, you know.
Excellent. No, that's good. Well, here comes. This is I Used to Dance.
Right.
I used to dance, I used to soar, I used to be the ballerina they were all stood waiting for. I used to glide, some nights I'd fly, I could hear them take a breath, see the heartbeat in their eyes. I used to sail the deepest ocean and know the love I had to give was a gift I never lived. I used to cry, some nights were lonesome, but I would give my only breath just to have them back again. I used to be someone you know, I was the toast of every party and the star of every show, but there was one at home I knew, who was always in my thoughts, and I was always with him too. I used to fly ocean to ocean, and every step I had to take was another price to pay. I used to hurt, some bones were broken, but that was my own sacrifice to live the only life I used to dance. I used to dance. Now it's dark and colder still. I wish they'd let my loved ones in, let me feel their warmth again. I used to dance, I used to soar, tell the maestro come around, let the music play once more, so I can dance.
Another fantastic song there.
Oh, thank you.
That's
Incredible, Lewis, as well. It's again goosebumps for 3.5 minutes.
Oh, thank you very much.
But yeah, as I say, like with your song, like I love that story as well.
yeah.
And again, and this is why we're chatting earlier about influence. This is why I thought about Leonard Cohen. Is like lyrically that song's very poetic as well. Like there's part of the verse there says about like the sacrifice and the broken bones for her art, her love
Yeah.
of dance. and it's very well written in
That's
that,
good.
as well as it's very poetic, and you know exactly whenever you hear it. And because I remember reading the story on your YouTube link, reading the story, what it was about, as I was just starting to play it, and all the words kind of made sense to me then as to what. And then the likes of you know, the broken bones and the pain and all this kind of thing for what she was doing. I thought it's incredible. It's really, really well written. I'm very much looking forward to hearing a finished article. We do have one last song to play. Would you like to introduce it for us?
Yes, it's from a band called Dander. It's called Tracks in the Snow. I know the fella Kevin, who is the main songwriter. A great fella. I know him from when I worked in Benningham's and all that. And I know the guitarist too, James Graham, great guitarist, great fella. And it just was, I don't be listening to a lot of new music, and I just heard this, you know, and I just really, I don't know if he's heard it yet, but when you hear it, when he does take you, it's a really beautiful and intimate song, and it's sang really beautifully, like, and it's called Tracks in the Snow, and you can actually hear that in the music, if you know what I mean. I love a song that you can actually feel
Yeah.
the lyrics, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, I get that wee feeling they're trying to get, like, you know. But it was lovely, and I think they've a few. They might have an EP out or something. But I would say there'd be a great band to see live when things open up again.
Yeah.
I know they did a few gigs before, but I missed them. But I think that they've added to their setup, as far as I know. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's just beautiful, beautiful song.
Excellent. No, that's great. This is Tracks in the Snow, and this is by Dander.
Tracks in the Snow, take 2. On the way home, caught up in a snowstorm, soaking our shoes clean through to the soles, and the wind blew through us for a shortcut. I wasn't built for this locale. We were making tracks in the snow. Guess we're pretty good as it goes. What's in the past is in the past is in the past. Miles ago, and the lamppost lit up like a runway, stretching as far as I could see. And the sound of the crunching and crackling, I swear it was rattling through my bones. We were making tracks in the snow. Guess we're pretty good as it goes. What's in the past is in the past is in the past. Miles ago. We were making tracks in the snow. Guess we're pretty good as it goes. What's in the past is in the past is in the past. Miles ago. We were making tracks in the snow. It's easier if you clean as you go. What's in the past is in the past is in the past. What's in the past is in the past is in the past. What's in the past is in the past is in the past. Miles ago.
it's another great song.
Lovely, isn't it?
Fantastic. Yeah, really enjoyed that.
Beautifully.
I did only, well, I sent them earlier, I didn't have a lot of opportunity to listen to it. I just kind of listened to a little bit of it. And I'm listening to it in its entirety. That's incredible.
That's live too. It's fucking lovely. Guitar sounds amazing on it. Beautiful.
Does.
Aye.
But yes, thanks again, Lewis.
Yeah.
I'm going to call you Louis one last time. Thanks
Absolutely.
again, Louis, for joining us this evening.
No worries. My pleasure.
Absolute pleasure. So
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.
just like that.
No, thanks very much, Liz, for being a part of this. We appreciate it very much. As I say, it's new for us, so anybody that's willing to take a bit of time and help us out by coming on, that's very much appreciated. Thank you, and some excellent music as well.
Absolutely, and for spending as much time with us as you have. You know, it's appreciate you taking a couple of hours out of your evening. You might have better things to do.
Not really.
But thanks very much.
Thanks for having me. It was brilliant. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Cheers. Likewise. Good having you.
Right. See you later. Cheers.
See you. Bye bye.
Cheers.
two great songs there. So it was first of all, as you heard, Lewis's recommendation there, we had Dander, and after that we had Aeons, and that song is called Smile, and hopefully we'll be speaking to them in the next few weeks as well. Kendo, what have we got in next week's episode?
Next episode, we are going to have music from Big Daisy and Joel Harkin, and we will have special guest Juno Hassan will be joining us for a chat, and we'll be hearing some of her music. And yeah, and we'll have a few other tunes as well. And to play us out tonight, we have Lonely Astronauts with Better Days, and we're going to hear an acoustic version of that.
Close your eyes, 'cause the rest of the world is gone home. It's no surprise when you wake up on your own. But there'll be better days coming to you. Yeah, there'll be better days making the way to you. I know it's hard to let yourself be free, 'cause time goes by so fast you can't see. But there'll be better days coming for you. Yeah, there'll be better days making the way to you. Oh, better days are coming. Better days are here. Better days are coming. Better days are here.
Thanks for tuning in to our podcast, Discover Music NI. If you don't mind, like, share, subscribe, ding the bell and comment, and tell all your friends. Thank you very much. Cheers.